Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Andrew Nisley welcoming us to our first week of our course on Luke and Acts. So, as you might have seen in some of the course intro, this is a great class for us to understand what Luke's understanding of Jesus is, and then what Luke's understanding is of things that are very important to us today, like marginalized people and how Luke dealt with the Gentiles and how Luke viewed salvation. So, this will be good. This will be a good look at how the most articulate and scholarly writer in the New Testament, besides the Apostle Paul, wrote about the ministry of Jesus and the early church. So I've been teaching this class for 10 or so years, year in, year out, twice a year. Love the course and would love to be able to help you to walk through it so it becomes something that enriches you. So let me give you some information about the class, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. You can always shoot me an email through Canvas. You can always call me. You can text me. I really do enjoy the face-to-face interaction and talking to you guys on the phone, because I found from my experience as a guy who did part of my doctorate online that I got pretty nervous and anxious when I wasn't able to connect with people. And so that's why I've always tried to emphasize and build in the one-on-one personal connections. And so for heaven's sakes, you got a question, you got an issue, you just want to talk, give me a call. That's one of the reasons I love teaching these classes, is to get to know some of you during the course. It really enriches everything for me. So you probably saw my intro information, and please check that out. Please make sure that you are posting your intro information for the class. This helps us to build an online community. Okay, so in week one, make sure that you read our main textbook by Darrell Bock, chapters 1 to 4, and then 21 to 23. And then your assignment comes from those final chapters. And you're going to be talking about whether or not basically you think that the modern church today should be cessationist or not. And, it's a good discussion. It's full of lively interaction. You don't have to agree with me or with the Alliance position on everything. There are lots of people who don't. But what you do have to do is you have to support your ideas with Scripture. And then, as I've said, and some other things, more importantly, with information from the text, okay? So make sure that you're putting in a quote or two from the textbook to substantiate your ideas. That enriches our online dialogue. Okay, you're also going to read Carson and Nielsen. Now, they're the editors, not the authors, chapters 1 and 4. The first chapter actually is by D.A. Carson. So if you pull something from D.A. Carson, then you're going to list it as Carson, and then the page number, and then 2015. But chapter 4 is not by Carson and Nielsen. Chapter 4 is by Crawford Loritts, Loritts. And so when you give a quote from chapter 4 from that book, then you're going to use Loritts 2015 and then the page number. You're also doing discussion 1, which I already talked about, and then you're going to do your assignment 1, which is you're giving me a general idea of what you think that your capstone project will be. And I sent you some samples already from previous classes to help you understand what you might be getting into, okay? So besides the Bock and the Carson and Nielsen book, we do have a wonderful book called Growing a Healthy Church from Spader and Mays. And that's an oldie but goodie, tried and true book on discipleship. We are using it right now and have used it in the past in my church in our desire to make disciples. And it'll give you good, usable, foundational information for how you can be a disciple-making pastor and worker for the kingdom. So let me just say, once again, to do well in your discussions, make sure that you're citing the course materials. Now, this is what you have to do to earn an excellent or an outstanding grade. If you want to just do the assignment the way that you think that it should be done and you want to cut some corners, then you're going to get a proficient grade, which, you know, is not a bad grade. And there are lots of times in my graduate work when I chose to get a decent grade and not to get an excellent grade. But here's the deal. Don't think that I'm docking you points if you lose points because your work isn't excellent or exemplary and your work is just proficient. If you do a lackluster job, then get a lackluster grade, and it's not going to be the end of the world if you don't get straight A's in all of your courses at Crown College. I think one of the worst things that we can do, and that happened to me, is that you leave school thinking that, man, you are God's gift to the world in terms of academics, when what we really need in the church, and the Lord had to do this to me through a series of events, is we need humble servants. And so the grades aren't that important, my friends, and I need to maintain my integrity by not giving everybody an A for everything that they do. And I'll be glad to help you and coach you, and I have some examples for you of what I expect for outstanding work. So I'm pulling for you guys. I care about you, and I'd love to be able to hear from you and to talk with you. Okay, I'm yammering on way too long, and I'm going to post this video now. And once again, if you have any questions, any issues, please contact me. We can talk it through, we can work it out, and it's going to be a great class for us to learn together. May the Lord bless you. Have a wonderful day.